7,
Count down
8,
for once.
9, 10.
I know you see.
Somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
Ain't that right, Ben?
Woo! Live life, breathe air. I don't sure how we're gonna get there and be so wonderful. It's all for real. So wake up the members of my nation. It's your time to be. There's no chance unless you take one. There's no time to be the brighter side of every situation. Just leave it all to me.
Take it away, Ben!
Scoop, scap, scoobity.
Can we just open every cast with some like obscure like American like
Some
90s?
just some show
That was the
tune.
90s. It was like
That was
early
iCarly.
2000s.
That was like 2007.
Marina
Early
Castro
2000s.
was hot.
No,
It
she
was.
looked like
Who? What?
what's his face?
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
I am
At the
literally
time, I
left
didn't
like
make
one
the
couch. Can
connection.
you?
She was hot in
No,
the
because
You
I'll be
think
out
we'll
of
get
shot.
copyright
well,
strikes for that?
Like
Eh.
Jen McCurdy.
No, we won't.
she
We're
was-
singing
she
it.
is.
She's
That-
hot.
Exactly. Black cock though. Not in
Yeah,
black cock.
that's true.
Are you sure?
Well,
Alright,
you
guys.
don't-
Settle for like
sure?
Puerto
So
Rican.
you're not attracted to her because she's
Okay, guys,
black
there's
cock?
no.
Has to be
Okay.
That's good.
We need as
No,
much
but
time
Drake
as we
Bell, though?
possibly
Hey
can
guys,
to talk
welcome
about
to the Monolith Podcast.
Hey.
We're here again with Jameson, Ileana, Justice, Nick, Noah, and Zach.
No square.
Wink.
And Ben. Sorry, Ben, you're not facing.
Ben, good thing his nips are out
With
right
extra
now.
special guest Ben's other nips.
Yeah, the back of Ben's computer. Sorry, you can't see him, but you
Ben,
can
would
hear
you
him.
be able to get your dad as a guest in the podcast?
Ben.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
Okay. Today we're going to talk about something near and dear to some of our hearts. We're going to talk a little bit about Bethesda, mainly Fallout, and what's up with that.
I mean, I
Broke
own all
my
the Fallout
heart.
games.
All right,
that
so
counts.
let's start with
I'll play devil's advocate.
let's start with the whole history of Fallout, starting back in 1947.
Shit got fucked.
1947.
Yeah.
It was
Years.
October 21st or some shit like that. Oh, it's
So,
October 27th.
alright.
Like the
So
day
this
above
is a
all.
story all
Oh,
about how the
what?
world got flipped turned upside down.
And I'd like to take a minute.
Take a minute to sit on my
How
couch
did you
and tell you how I became
Prince
The
of a
Prince-
town called
Bel Air.
Megaton.
Nuketown.
Megaton.
Megaton.
Nuketown is Call of Duty.
Hey guys, sorry for the edit.
Double edits.
It's like the fifth edit.
I died.
Bunch of
Again.
shit went down. Okay.
Well, they didn't know because of the edit.
Zach, you should just cut in
died.
random
died.
parts that
You
from
died
that.
like 4
Like
times.
just
Instead of
random
editing
little,
each
little
Okay, so we're going to start with the history starting from 1947 because that was the year, in our time, the transistor was created. Everything up until 1947 was exactly like it was in today's world as it was in Fallout's world. But the only difference being
The transistor.
the transistor. What they were doing, basically,
The
is
continuum transfunction.
with us, we developed the transistor, and that was what helped us. That's what gave us the ability to make nanotechnology and such, and make TV smaller and stuff like that. But Fallout's world never figured that out. So that's why like all of their
it's
television equipment and stuff is big, and that's why they have more of a focus on nuclear technology because they're focused less
And
on
harnessing the
nanotechnology.
atom.
Yeah, they want to harness the
They
atom.
didn't care about microcomputers.
children of
Alright.
They care about that atom.
Yeah.
You see, so
Bad Adam.
they're like, that's pretty neat. That's
You
a
can tell
little.
it's an atom because
By
of
the way that
it
it is.
That's pretty neat.
Jason, that's supposed to be
So-
it's flowing.
So instead of, like you said, microcomputers, they harness the atom. So that led to a lot of overconsumption of pretty much every resource, as said in like Fallout 4.
So the nuclear
So then
power.
there's a lot of issues with fuel. China goes and invades Anchorage for pretty much the world's last oil reserves, and as that's happening, the United States deployed its T-51B power armor to Beijing and was currently invading Beijing when China knew it was going to lose and just started launching nukes. America started launching nukes. Everyone launches nukes, and then everything's destroyed.
And something about that, the reason why a lot of humanity has basically been destroyed is because when nukes were launched, a lot of people thought they were just drills. Because they were constantly drilling everyone to go into vaults and stuff like that and be as safe as possible. the vaults were created before the nukes, and it was. They weren't necessarily created to
Save people.
Well,
That's true.
Here's the
That's exactly
confusing
true.
part. Here's the confusing part. They were made to save people, but when nuclear war started to be a thing of the past. Like they started looking past it because of how much time was taking place.
Is that when they started looking at
And
it to
that's
experiment on people?
that's when they started experimenting on people to see who could survive the most. But all those experiments continued to take place when the nukes hit.
They counted on it to not actually be a nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
They
Exactly.
counted to be in a drill, and they would take advantage of that drill
and keep the people there.
yes.
But then
Make
the war
them think that it
actually
happened, and then it actually.
But the war
happened.
actually did happen. Voltec's like,
Oh shit!
Oh,
But they, I don't, my,
and then they all escape to Vault Zero, and they all die.
Because
Wait,
Vault
Vault Zero?
Vault
That's
Zero
something
was,
that I don't know about.
Vault Zero was the test vault that they had in.
It's not. It wasn't a test. It was
Oh.
where all the.
Oh no, there was a test vault in. I guess it would be Las Vegas that they like showcased, and everyone's like, "Well, shit!" When the nukes hit, they're like, "We got to get in there." It was a test vault. It wasn't even like close to being able to like defend itself from the nukes. So like a bunch of people went in there to save themselves, and they all died.
So I guess in this, because like I've played Fallout, but I don't know a lot of the history. I've never been.
Oh, that's the
Fallout fan.
best part.
What is Vault Zero? Like
Vault Zero
Is
is
that
where
Vault-Tec or no?
Vault Zero. Yes, that's where all the Vault-Tec executives ran to, and it used a supercomputer, which is what John Henry Eden is. The same thing. I forget what it was called, but it was like a more advanced version. Like they were able to learn and create new memories. So pretty much like sentient supercomputers, which then ran the whole facility after everybody else died. I think it might have killed them. because
so
I'm pretty
it's the
sure.
one that killed everybody
they
in
were-
Vault Zero.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I
Okay.
think they were all
Okay.
cryogenically frozen, but the vault killed
Okay,
them.
and that was different from the one Vault you were talking
I
about.
think.
Where
I'm not-
did
I'm
that
not
one
correct.
just get blown up? The one.
Yeah,
you're
it just
talking
it exploded.
about? Okay.
Everyone died. There was a janitor that you can find a janitor skeleton like in the middle of the vault.
Okay.
He's just like sitting there dead because he died.
Oh, really?
You can tell he's dead 'cause the way he is.
He died of
Pretty
death.
neat.
Oh, okay.
So,
What's your guys' favorite vault?
Mine is the one
okay.
that
Let's
I don't
not
know
get
if
there.
it's-
Let's not
Vault
get there just yet.
77.
Let's not get there
I
just
mean, we're
yet.
talking about vaults.
I know,
right?
but I we'll go back to that in just a second. Okay. Just 1 second, because I think I know what me and Nick's favorite vault is. Because there's some like trippy shit if you read everything through each
The
vault.
one
Yeah.
I want to say, because I don't really know much of them, is the 77 with the dude who was him and a bunch of puppets.
Yeah, okay, we'll chime on that. So what happened was, after the nukes hit, basically you start, the very first Fallout game starts in like 5160 some, right?
What? No. It's
They're all
it's
in
20.
2000.
It's 2100s. Or no, it's on the
That's Halo.
cusp of 2100. That's when
2151.
Fall-
Yes.
2150 some.
I know Halo-
No, it's
So
on the
it
cusp
starts
of
in the
2100,
2150s.
3000.
And that story takes place, and you sort of find out like a bunch of stuff, how the world is starting to resettle itself. And then Fallout 2 starts in like
80 years after Fallout.
80 years after.
Yeah.
Then Fallout 3, which is when Bethesda takes
No, there
over.
was tactics in between them.
We'll
Yeah,
get
but
Fallout
it's no one talks about
No.
tech.
We don't talk,
We're
we're
not
not,
talking.
nor will we.
So that's when Bethesda takes it over, and that's when it becomes the Fallout 3 that we know. That's like an all wide open, non 2D RPG.
Except Fallout 1 and 2 were fun.
They were fun. Yeah, they were really great
I
games.
I have like
I never got
15
to
minutes in
play
Fallout.
I need to try out Wasteland.
Something interesting though.
That one game.
The original creators of Fallout 3 were
dead.
creating the Fallout 3
Black Isles
that
Studios.
that was going to be the same as Fallout 1 and 2. They were creating that, and some dispute
You can
happened.
still
with,
find
it wasn't a
a bu-
dispute. No, they were
But
Bethesda
become
bought them
Wasteland?
out.
Bethesda Boston.
Bethesda
bought
actually,
them.
the engine they used for Fallout 3 is built off of the engine that they were gonna use for Fallout 3 that Black Isles made, which was like 90% done.
Didn't that become
I'm pretty sure you can still find
Wasteland?
like demos and shit for
No.
You
Well,
can't.
the original
no,
Fallout
it
3.
didn't. Wasteland is based off of Fallout.
Okay.
because-
do you know if Wasteland's any good?
When Wasteland, it's probably good, but all I know is that when Fallout 3 came out, Wasteland was based off of Fallout, so people that wanted the Fallout experience went to Wasteland.
Yeah,
the
wasn't-
old Fallout experience went to Wasteland.
Wasn't Black Isles Fallout 3 like basically done.
It
and
was
then-
it was the same format as Fallout 1 and 2, except it actually had like 3-dimensional graphics and everything like that.
Yeah, but wasn't like the game itself like almost finished? And then-
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
90% done,
Wait,
and they got bought
Wasteland. That was gonna be Fallout.
out. Wasteland is a different game.
Yeah,
It's
I was
made by
gonna say.
Division.
Yeah, but it was generally towards the
I was
people
gonna
that liked Fallout 1 and 2.
I was
And then,
gonna say because that reminds me a lot of like the old Fallout games.
Because Wasteland
That's-
2
I never
Did you
came
ever
out.
play the Wasteland games?
Yeah.
Are they good?
I mean, if you like that style,
like, have you ever played
isometric
Shadowrun?
tile,
Have you ever played Shadowrun?
no.
Well, Shadowrun's it's like the isometric tiles. And
But
Yeah.
by the way, it's another game I want to do a
Cool.
podcast about talking to you guys about that you need to play. It's
Like,
really
Okay.
Yeah,
if-
Wasteland.
If you like the original Fallout games and the tile system and like the way that you like customize your characters and you can literally customize every portion of your entire party,
Okay.
you'll like Wasteland.
Yeah, Wasteland 2 came out like a couple years ago,
I
and that was a
feel like
big
Wasteland
a
2.
big deal.
Mhm.
But there weren't a lot of Wasteland fans out there
No?
because it was like a decade.
It's
Yeah.
super
It was a
cool.
long time after Wasteland 1
Didn't they
came
just
out.
come out with a new one?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Wasteland
saying.
2.
Wasteland 2 came out a couple years ago.
Wasteland 2 is pretty good. I can give you the like.
Okay,
that.
so
I think
All
I'd
right,
go with
so
we were all.
yeah, Bethesda created Fallout 3, and it was awesome. It was a great game. Like it was fantastic at the time.
I
Like,
love it.
We also
Yes.
we all
Love
played
it
it
so
when we were
much.
like elementary school.
yeah,
the
this
shit
was
ton
us.
of
This was us
mods.
really young.
It's more of a New Vegas game.
But it was a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
game, like an amazing feat.
Amazing jump and
Yeah,
what
amazing
Fallout
jump.
could be.
Like I think it like a lot of it reshaped what games are today.
Mhm.
Like that was definitely a huge step in reshaping how games play out today.
How RPGs
How
like
RPGs are, yeah.
It also has my
Even
favorite
first-person
story.
shooters.
And then they ruined it.
Yeah, it has my
Hold
favorite
on,
story.
hold Okay, so Fallout 3 had a good story. It was mainly focused on the story. You didn't have too much choice. But overall, it was a really great game, and I think we can all agree.
Fallout
And-
3.
Yeah,
It was great.
it was, yeah.
Amazing.
yeah.
That was good. It was good.
So the story with that, you all should know about how all that stuff happened. Now, let's say you play through the game, right, and you win, and then it goes on to the next story, which would be in Vegas, because New Vegas happens 8 years after, right? Is it 8? Or is it 4 or something like that?
I think it's 8.
8?
2277 was which one?
New Vegas, wasn't it?
No, Fallout 3.
Fall through 2277,
Yeah.
and then I think it was
85.
87,
85 or 86.
86, 22, I think it's
2286.
I think it's
something
10
like
years after. I think it's 87.
that. Okay. So, New Vegas came out, and originally, what New Vegas was supposed to be,
I think
it was supposed to be a DLC for Fallout 3. Because Fallout was, Bethesda was just making shit tons of DLC, and they were all really good DLCs. Like, every single one of their DLCs was really good.
yeah.
I never
No,
played
because
any of the New
always a
Vegas.
Point
DLCs.
Lookout
Vegas
was
is good.
Point Lookout was amazing.
I think
oh,
that was
are you
the
talking about
only
New
one I-
Vegas? I thought
No,
we were
but we're talking about
Okay,
all their
Fallout
DLCs
3.
in general.
Yeah, in general.
So if we move on to the next part of history, what we know is that, what's it called? What was the word that you used?
Gay.
That they use for what the ultimate choice is in the story.
Ultimatum.
Like,
I don't know.
if we move on in history, even if you did something
Canon.
canon,
Yeah.
the canon story when you move on to Fallout New Vegas that happened in DC is that you revive the water station.
And you don't
And-
destroy the Citadel.
Yeah, exactly. And the Brotherhood of Steel remain there. Yeah, they remain there. Then he goes over to the west, and
I
that's
just
where
found the
Vegas.
timeline.
You did.
Yeah, I
Okay.
found the time. Yeah, Fallout 1 starts in 2160, early 2160.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Fallout 2 happens 80 years after. And Van Buren was supposed to happen, which was the old Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Was supposed to happen about, I'd say, like 11 or 12 years after that. And Fallout 3 begins in 2277.
Okay.
And New Vegas begins in 2281-ish.
Okay,
so like
4 years-ish.
All right. So
And then Fallout
Bless you.
4 is
Yeah.
2288.
Okay.
okay. So what the canon choice was that you solve the water problems and stuff. New Vegas happens, and we should all.
Here goes this
We-
radiation. It's special Aquapura.
So yeah, you start out as who you are in New
No one else
Vegas,
understands that.
and yeah, your character is fantastic. Here's the story with Mr. House. Surprisingly enough, when House was around, it was like 2050s.
He was, he was alive before the war.
Yeah, exactly. The Great War. So in the 2050s, he saw
10 out of mine.
that nuclear stuff was going to happen. So what he did was he walled off, he fortified, he did all he could to make sure that Vegas was as protected as possible.
He had turrets mounted up on top of Lucky 38 that shot down most of the nukes that fell around the Midwest, which is
Was
why.
shot down?
Yeah, he shot the nukes out of the sky.
There was like 1 or 2 that made it through.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even if they detonated above.
actually, no,
above that,
2
that
made
would
it through.
still
1
spread
exploded
radiation.
there.
No, did they
It
not
did.
detonate, or did he just destroy?
I mean,
I
if they're armed in the
He
air,
said
and
he said
shoots them down, they would still
he said
detonate.
that he destroyed them. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm like off memory. I
Because
think he
we're
destroyed
destroying one would have destroyed the turrets. So I think.
Well,
they-
no, like
they-
he like I mean
disabled
it's
them.
it's that advanced that he was able to like snipe them way out of the air.
He was
And, like-
he knew what he was doing.
And
Yeah, he-
I think it was like 2 landed, 1 exploded, caused the wasteland, and then another one landed and was a dud.
Was that
That was one of the
dud- the one.
wild wasteland.
The one.
Yeah.
yeah, and you
Wait,
can
the
get
one?
the
What's
one.
the one?
It's a dud nuke that you can disarm for like energy weapon.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
Where?
it's the wild. You need a wild wastelands perk for that.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
You
already-
can
It's
find
just-
it.
I
I think it's
don't
like
know.
to the east of Vegas.
Who doesn't put the Wild Waste?
I don't know.
It's, there's no
Dum-dums.
I think it's yes, it's definitely to the east. I think it's in like the top right-ish corner, I believe.
Okay, so basically, what he also did was he wanted to make sure that he could be the forever leader of Vegas. So what he did was he cryogenically froze himself.
No,
And-
no.
No.
He-
Well,
he-
actually, he stasized himself.
He was in
Yeah.
stasis, in like a life support stasis.
Cryostasis.
So no, it wasn't cryo.
He
Able
was
to-
himself.
He was alive and moving and conscious the
Okay.
You
entire
know when
time.
you open the thing and he's in there? He's
Yeah,
not frozen.
that's true.
able
He's
to
not
keep
frozen,
himself
but, like-
alive for over 2 centuries.
Yeah, I'm saying. Like,
Impressive.
he wasn't frozen.
And then your fucking ass comes around, and if you
just kill
choose
him.
that route and kill him.
Which
I
if
felt
you-
I felt
I feel-
legitimately
yeah.
bad.
At
killing
first, I'm
him.
like, wow, this guy's an asshole. I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill him. And I was like, wait,
Why'd I do that?
wait, why did this guy saved lots of people?
and like he was actually I think he was planning on creating like ships to leave Earth. I think.
That's the point we got to. And then the platinum ship was supposed to arrive, and it never did. And then like the first ever.
It was supposed to arrive on October 23rd,
Yeah.
2077, but the nukes came first.
Wait,
and
what was the platinum chip for?
It
the
had
platinum
supposed to be
chip,
used
it
for?
was a software upgrade for Securitrons,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and he
which was actually a huge thing because
a
it went
huge
from
deal.
like being old 9mm guns to like
Oh, yeah,
lasers
Gatling
I
and
remember,
lasers.
yeah.
grenades and rockets in your shoulders.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Okay,
when,
and
when
would
he
they
like
have-
takes you down.
They would have survived a lot if they got the.
If that chip actually made it, things would probably be a lot better in the wasteland.
What do you
That's,
think
like,
would have happened? Like, what is canon for New Vegas? Is that it's probably that you. Is there no canon for
There's
New Vegas?
nothing yet.
Really?
Yes,
Like,
because
there's
they
no-
haven't continued on.
If
that
anything,
story.
I think they're gonna go with like you side with Mr. House.
I hope so.
I hope so because like the NCR, they have a like. I think it's how the Legion
They're
said like
methodical.
They're both.
They're
a bunch of
methodical.
cunts.
yeah, the Legion are just like
Oh, I would never side with
they're-
the Legion.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I've
horrible
done it
people.
before.
I did it for the achievement. I actually 100% of that game, which wasn't easy. The Gunrunner Arsenal achievements were pretty difficult.
Although you had the choice, the Caesar's Legion was just kind of dull.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly.
true. That is
Like,
true.
there wasn't really much
I mean, like,
story.
it was
It's
really
like
difficult.
it's like they had it as an option, but they knew that a lot of people would not choose it.
Which is really difficult for me because I love Roman history, and as soon as I found out that the Legion was there, I was like, "Oh shit, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
that's-
awesome!"
that's
And
what
then I
did
was
at
like,
first.
Oh, they're
Oh,
a bunch
no.
of dicks.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I
no,
don't like
you,
where
you
this is
get to
going.
Nipton for the first time.
"Yeah," and you're like,
You're
"I don't
like,
like where this is going."
Holy shit!
Yeah,
There's
maybe
people
the-
on crucifixes.
Yeah, like you
everything's
talk to
burned.
that. You talk to that dude. I won the lottery, and you're like, fucking asshole.
Like, what
and
are you
he goes-
talking
and
about?
He goes, holy shit!
He
He won
was
the
one of the
lottery to
two-
save his life.
One of the 2 people to not get killed in that city.
I never found him until like my 5th playthrough.
Really?
Boxcars.
I always see
No, no,
him.
no, no, no. The guy in the store who had his
Oh.
legs broken from
I always go to
hammers.
him.
Oh yeah.
And he's just chilling there because he can't move
Yeah,
because his
yeah.
legs are
Legs are
broken.
They,
From
they,
hammers.
they got hammers and there's like
a hammers. A hammer.
hammers and just like wailed on his legs and he can't walk.
And then like I'm usually against the powder gangers.
oh
so
yeah.
then so
I
then
mean,
he greets you like, oh, it's this motherfucker.
Yeah, that
Because-
guy was cool though, but
yeah,
I always
no.
ended up killing him because
I never killed him. I let him
Really?
go.
Okay.
He was a cool guy.
The amount of choice in New Vegas from Fallout 3,
Beautiful.
it was like a choice is like there's like a random event where some scavenger finds like a destroyed robot. Or no, he has like a robot stuck in a loop and you can choose to fix it or scavenge it for parts like, oh, I don't know what happened to it, it just broke or yeah, thanks for the free stuff. He's like, you're a jerk. But like if you fix it, you don't really get anything out of it. It just gives you 2 fusion cells or something. It's really not worth it, but like it's just like a little choice. And that doesn't really matter. But there's the things like destroying the Brotherhood of Steel, like
Yeah.
firing the last like missiles on the Enclave's base crawler.
I
At
never
the
found the
Citadel.
Enclave on my playthrough.
Really?
I never found
They're
them.
really hard to find, actually.
Yeah, you got to do a lot.
Oh, I'm talking about Fallout 3 right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Oh.
but like all like the insignificant things. But once it gets to New Vegas, the amount of choice like rapidly, well not rapidly, but it gets so much broader.
The amount of
where-
choices you can get to either
like,
like kill
The,
someone.
the
leave
first
these
town,
people
the
go.
first town you go to, you can choose to either side with them and help them out. You can convince someone to give like the town armor. You can give like convince someone to use like allow them to use dynamite
Yeah.
and like you like get the guy who saves your life to give you some medical
Or you
supplies.
could just side with the people attacking
Or you can side
the
with powder
town,
gangers and kill everybody just
which
because.
I've never done.
I've
I
never
never
done.
did that.
I did
Yeah.
it once and I immediately regret it.
And the thing that always gets me is Novak. Just that little town.
Oh, that was
The
great.
ending of Fallout.
Oh, I
All the
love
little
that.
things, like, that's what always drove me to do as much as I could because the endings, what it, like, tells you, like, oh my god, I missed
How many
this.
different
and all-
endings are there?
There's,
Because like there's so many things.
hundreds
like,
of combinations,
It depends
I'm
on
sure.
like who you like, who's your like buddy during the game.
Always
Yeah.
sided with the
I used
the
Cass.
bombers. What were they?
the
Oh
boomers.
yeah, yeah.
That was awesome.
The
The
I-
boomers
were
were
pretty
really
cool.
I
Yeah.
tried
You
to
know-
follow that guy's instructions to get through the mine, like the fucking
Never
minefield,
worked.
and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I literally like just put on like a bunch of drugs and just sprinted.
I
through
never
it.
know how to get through that
Yeah.
fucking place.
and it worked.
That's the best like thing
Okay.
for Fallout. Like,
Like,
don't know how
but
to
with-
get through my
here, one
field.
second,
Drugs.
With Novak, at the ending, the Legion comes in and kills everybody at Novak, like almost everybody. If you just like go to the Bright Brotherhood and either destroy the rockets or just like send them on their way.
Oh yeah, those
The-
guys.
the-
Always
the-
send
you
them.
can, yeah, I
the
always make-
Legion,
I
the
always
Legion
fix it.
comes in and kills almost everybody in Novak while Novak defends it. If you, like, you can change their course to go like 20% closer or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
They go in and save almost everybody in Novak because of that one little thing.
Wait, really? That's what
Yes.
happened?
Wait, what happened? Wait,
If you
Okay.
had the science skill that could like
Yeah.
land, that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's I never even knew
their
like them
course gets
attacking.
closer to the to their land, like where they land,
Yeah.
and they come back then. And once they're like, oh crap, we gotta save these people in Novak, and
That's
they help
what happened?
evacuate.
I
and
never
help
even
find
knew
the
that
Legion.
was a
Wow.
thing.
Yeah,
wait,
and
okay.
Because like Novak was
You're
alive.
talking
the whole
about the
time
people,
for me.
like the glowing ones
Yes.
that are trying to go away. If you change something about that, they save Novak.
you could make the rocket's course more accurate,
Okay.
and
It's
they,
big
and
if
then
you
they
have a
come
science
they
skill.
come back in time to evacuate Novak, and almost nobody gets
They
killed.
come back in time.
No, like I
Wait,
mean, like
what?
they don't go back. They
Oh.
don't travel.
In
Like,
time,
like,
they come
like
back.
they
Yeah.
come back, and like they're just like they're
Who
They're
did they
there
save
right
them
when
from?
Novak
Just
gets.
Who did
They
they
save
save
to
them
save
Wait,
Novak.
from?
I
Caesar,
forgot.
from Caesar's
Because
Legion?
what happens to Novak if you?
From Caesar's Legion?
Yes, they like save almost.
I never
everybody
even
in
knew
Novak.
that was a thing.
That,
That,
that
Caesar's
one
Legion attacked.
little thing that
Yeah.
they
Are you
that,
serious?
that one little thing that you change
Yeah.
saves a settlement of
Because
people.
you could either just send the rockets on their way, make them make them hit each other in the air, which I've never seen, but I guess it's
One of them
probably
collapses, the other two just.
Okay, something a little bit on the lines of that. Helios won.
Oh, that was.
Oh,
All
All
I
of the
love
different,
Helios.
all of the different places that you can choose to send the power to. What does that change other than like Archimedes and sending it to Vegas?
What are we talking about?
Honestly,
Wait,
I don't
Vegas?
think.
Why did you say
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I know.
They
I
send
can
it to
choose.
Vegas because
I forget
Can
what
I-
I
can I
chose
chime
for
in?
that.
Go for it, yeah.
they want to be able to send it to Vegas because if for some reason Caesar's Legion were to take over the Hoover Dam, they still have power.
I think that's what I did. I sent it to the NCR.
Okay,
Can't
so like,
remember
I could
how.
go, you could send it to places like Freeside and like other really poor areas that need power, or you could send it to New Vegas or NCR places. Caesar, I don't know if there's Caesar Legion places because they didn't really depend on electricity.
No.
Or you could send it to a giant pre-war satellite that used the sun to kill people, pretty much. Like it just like a giant concentrated beam
Oh
of
yeah,
solar
it
energy.
makes it like super. Yeah.
What happens if you send it to like free size?
I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. Like, okay, Arcade Gannon, I always got him. I always got the confirmed bachelor perk so I could get him right off the bat because I always wanted to get the Enclave with me. So Arcade Gannon, like,
Arcade Gannon's with the Enclave?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's
he's
about-
ex-Enclave. I
And he's
forgot.
gay.
which is why the confirmed bachelor perk, you pick him up.
Oh, that's
you're
funny.
like, hey, you're sexy. He's like,
that-
you will come with
It's
you.
funny how like a gay guy. Okay, well I shouldn't say it like that. It's funny how like romancing a gay guy.
There was
it's
a
what-
really, oh yeah, there,
I mean,
there
you,
was,
you have
yeah.
to romance him for him to come with you, basically.
Is that what you have to
Uh,
do? I could never get
No,
a
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
You just like say like I need like a
Leads
big
you
strong
to
doctor
leads
to
you to
watch
this.
over me.
It
And
leads
he's
you-
like, oh, stop it.
Romancing a gay
Stop.
guy leads you to an underground like separated enclave civilization that can eventually help
like
you.
ex-U.S. government.
Oh, is that how you get into the bunker?
Yeah.
Because I found that bunker before and I didn't know the past.
It's very
The bunker's
okay.
scary. Like, for some
Because
reason,
like he'll
it's
say
getting
he's like
stalking me.
He's like he makes comments about things like when you go into Helios 1, he comments on Archimedes like how do you know about this? Like, oh, must have read it in a book, and he's like dismisses it because like no one knows he's an enclave, and he's like, you know, Freeside and like these poor places could really use the power. You should put it there, and that would give like
I think that's
A lot of
affinity for him,
Yeah.
so I could like get towards his personal quest for Auld Lang Syne, which is
By the way, can I
for
see
old
the
time's
personal
sake.
quests?
What?
Awesome.
Oh, they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cass's was really fun. You got to go into the what was that place? In
Freeside,
Freeside.
Silver Rush.
yeah, there. You got
Those
to go
people
in there
are
and just
jerk-
murder
the
everyone
Van
and then take
Graffs.
everything.
Oh, do you know what I
Fantastic.
did? I would always take things on the shelves,
Oh.
bring it to the bathroom,
Yeah.
be like,
That's my favorite thing, that you can pick up the
Yeah.
item, and then they're like, "What are you doing with that?" I'm like, "Nothing." Go hide in the corner and then put it in.
what do
my
I do with my
inventory.
plasma caster?
Oh, it's broken as
Puts in
shit.
pocket.
It's broken as shit.
It was like, alright, you
I
wanna buy
loved,
something?
Boons. Boons is the best.
Boone was pretty
Boone.
cool.
Boom. Okay,
Okay,
here's
I
a-
want to chime in on
Oh,
something
boom!
about
Yeah, he killed
About-
his own wife.
yeah.
That was awesome.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No,
He
wait.
shot his wife at the Legion camp. You didn't know that? You remember that camp above the Legion camp where he was? He shot his own wife because they were selling her.
I thought he. Oh,
No,
I
he
didn't
shot
know
his own wife.
I didn't know that.
He shot his own wife that way.
He
she
was
didn't have
trying to
live as
figure out who sold her,
Yeah, and then
and
he
it turned
saw
out to be
that she
that
was
lady
getting,
at the
yeah.
front.
That
Yeah.
quest never gets old.
I love that quest.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
and then he figured out she was going to be sold into slavery, and he's like, I don't want that for her, and he killed her.
But I just want you guys to know, like, every single playthrough through Fallout, except for my very last one, this is like the 11th or 12th playthrough that I played of Fallout, I have never seen Boone or had him as a companion at
Really?
all.
It's super
I
easy
never
to get
knew
him.
he existed.
Well,
I
because
did.
you
I did
gotta go
so
into the
many
giant
quests.
T-Rex,
I
which is-
yeah, I know. I did so many quests in Novak. I even went into the general store in the T-Rex, and maybe I talked to.
That guy was a dick.
I talked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was a
I
clown.
he
talked-
was trying to sell.
I
toy
may have talked to,
dinosaurs
like,
and
the
There might be a
largest-
few left.
I didn't know.
There
I
might
didn't-
be a few left, and there's like 1,000. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
take
didn't
them
know that
all.
they cycled out. Like
Yeah, I
they,
did that.
they
Yeah, like
cycled
the
out.
nighttime shift and
Yeah,
everything
like
like
so.
that.
I talked to the one other guy, and I was
Manny.
like, oh okay.
Oh, he was cool.
So I like
I accidentally killed him
that.
the
Just
first
like
time.
that he completely went over my head, and I remember there was times when like
Boone was OP.
yeah. Another thing that like do you know the Explorer's perk, which is probably my favorite perk ever, because I actually like it helped me. It gave me motivation to actually go and explore every single location on the map. Funny enough, it doesn't reveal every location on the map. It doesn't. There's one location that I found going from one place to another.
What was it?
Like there was a gas station, and then there was like a farm, and the gas station was like right on the edge of like the outskirts of Vegas.
Mhm.
So I was walking from that farm, which is outside, like way outside of Vegas, to it, and I found a location that wasn't on my map. I was like, "What the heck it is? What the heck is this?" It was another vault, and it was run by like people, like there are people that lived in it,
Were they the
but they
the
weren't.
powder gangers?
They weren't banned. No, no, it wasn't.
You found a vault with people in it.
There were people in
You
the
sure that
vault.
wasn't a mod?
No, it was not a mod. I did not. That was an unmodded version.
I can't remember the vaults.
Because-
I can't remember the vaults
Look at the
specifically.
vaults right now. This is really cool.
I don't
Yeah,
see
yeah. No, I remember finding it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I went in, and it's like open vault, blah blah blah. I forgot what number the vault was, and I go in, and it's a civilization down there. There are people living there, and I thought this is freaking crazy. It might have been the Powder Gangers. I don't know, but
Oh,
they
was
were.
it the one where everyone
were
left
s-
and then they got immediately murdered by the fucking cons or whatever?
But they were nice people in there.
No, that wasn't that. Unless you were.
I mean, I don't know if they were nice, like,
Oh, unless.
but they
unless
weren't
you,
hostile. Is what I'm trying to
Were
say.
you sided with the bandit gang that lived near there? Because I know exactly what you're talking about. Because there was a vault with a bunch like
Are you
bandits
talking
in
about the
it.
cons or Powder Gangers?
No, there was. It was what were they called? They were like
They-
bandits, but they were.
They were the they had skulls on their
Yeah.
heads. They were junk. They were a
Cons?
bunch. No, not cons. The
They're like
cons
a
were in
bunch
Red Rock Canyon because
Yeah.
FCR killed a
But
bunch
still,
of
there
them.
were cons.
There
like
were a bunch
over,
of junkers and shit.
There was another camp of cons on the other side of
That was
Vegas.
a cool con camp.
Yeah.
Okay, there's only
yourself.
here. Like I know you're. There's 3
Yeah.
main leaders that you could
And
kill.
then there's a
for
guy
the-
you can go in there and he has 2 dogs. and
that
shit.
was
And then there was one NCR guy in there.
I know
scouting
who
it
you're
out.
talking about,
I
but it's
li-
not them. It's not
I
them.
literally, you know what happened to me on that quest?
what?
I didn't know that guy was a thing because I literally went into a side room and he was a gibbed corpse when I went in there.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened, but I went in there for my first time and he was gibbed, so I had to literally go into the console and spawn him in that way I could finish that quest. That
That's
pissed
weird.
me off so much.
Yeah, it breaks your immersion.
Like,
That's the dang it, the weird like fire-ish game.
Yeah, whatever. Let's
What
move on
does that have
from
to, has to do with fire or something like that?
Fiends.
The
The
Fiends!
Fiends.
That's what it was, yeah.
That's what it is.
I remember that.
But it wasn't them.
Whatever. What
that
else
was,
were
that
we
was like
talking
on the
about
opposite
about
side
that?
of New Vegas.
Talking about New Vegas and all the cool shit that
What's
it
your
had.
favorite vaults?
Favorite vaults, like in games or like just like in,
In
the
stores.
lore.
Any
Vault
anything.
77 by far.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That
actually
and-
interject on this one.
Oh what?
I like the vault. Well, there's 2 vault. I think the one was vault where it was like a bunch of the kids, and they just like said "fuck you" to all the parents.
Okay,
of that vault.
Little Lamplight.
Oh,
that
Little
was
Lamplight.
Vault.
Yeah, Little
Lamplight.
Vault 81 is where FEV was the experiment there. Forced
Oh, let's
Evolutionary
explain
Virus.
that. Let's explain that.
Oh, that one was good.
Because
Okay.
that was an integral part to the history of Fallout, believe it or not.
Here's all the vaults in Fallout New Vegas. Vault 3 was attacked by fiends. Everyone was killed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
okay,
one.
we know that one.
That's a good podcast.
I'm sorry. Vault 11 was... I know Vault 21 was the one on the strip.
Oh yeah, that was the.
Is that the one you're talking... No.
What's
That'd
Vault
be
11?
New Vegas.
It's the one that was in the gift... Oh, Vault 11 was...
Is that the one?
abandoned...
No.
Hold on.
The one with the spoopy green monsters. That one was good too.
The geckos?
No, the one where they said that like whoever the overseer was at the end of the year.
Oh,
they
yes,
would
that's
kill
what it
him.
is.
That one.
Oh, that was
The
Then it turns out
experiment...
that there was literally nothing.
The experiment was... Oh, they would be... It makes it
It,
sound like
it
it's
told
this
them that if
peaceful
they didn't
thing.
kill the dude, it would like release
If
Sacrifice.
they didn't sacrifice
But
one person
The
a
experiment was
Yeah.
to not do it. Only 5 people, like when there were 5 people left, they're like, we're not doing this anymore. We can't like do this. And then like
We're all gonna
the
die
whole
together.
text like,
yeah, they did a suicide.
you
pact.
won,
Congratulations.
congratulations. And they're like, 4 of them killed themselves. 1 of them walked out. Out of
I
the
want to
5.
meet that
Did
person.
they ever?
Oh,
Never
no.
said nope.
It was just like they're all like, "Let's fucking do it," and he's like, "No, the door's open. We can fucking leave." And they're like, "No, this is
They
bullshit."
couldn't live with
All
themselves.
4 of
after
them killed themselves, and he just saw and in the fucking sonogram, whatever. What is it called? What are the audio? Just like one of the cassette tapes. Just like you hear him
holotapes.
sigh, and then you hear the vault door open and him walk out. That was the end of it. It was
That's.
wicked.
I need to.
Metal as fuck, dude.
Yeah, that one.
Because
was my
like
favorite
I
vault.
think my favorite thing is you go down there and it's like just relax your mind and be at peace, and then 2 giant metal walls fall down and a bunch of gas
Yeah.
lasers just mowing you. Oh, it was funny.
Vault 19 was Powder Gangers.
That's probably
Where was
it.
that located?
Oh yeah, that was the one where you
That was the one
go
that-
down the reds and the blues, right?
Yes.
The
Oh
reds-
wait, was it Vault 34?
Which one's that one?
What is
All
that?
right. Vault 34,
think
part of
that
the
might
vault
be
experiment, the army was overstocked with weapons and ammo. It was also equipped with a great number of recreational
boomers.
Is that the one with the
facilities,
water in it?
That's where
including
the
a
boomers
full-size swimming pool at the cost of living
yeah.
space. By 2281, so in New Vegas, it still had people living in it, including Horowitz, although most of its residents have become feral ghouls and glowing ones. They are, however, still able to speak
That's
with some level
after.
of intelligence.
Oh yeah, and that's,
That's
where the guy that
after.
thought it was a ghoul
Or
left
that's before, I
and
mean.
actually survived.
That's before.
because of it.
Additionally, according to the Boomers historian Pete, the Boomers used to occupy Vault 34, but they grew tired of not being allowed to use their weapons, so they left and started a community at Nellis.
Oh yeah, that's who the boomers were. Yeah.
Okay, I think you're thinking of... Okay, I know what you're thinking of. There was a place called Horowitz Farmstead, I believe. No. It was the NCR Sharecropper Farms. There was a vault in... like underneath that area that had the water that was being drawn from the crops were drawing water from that vault.
Oh yeah.
And you had the choice. There were people that you didn't directly talk to, but you talked to on a terminal.
No, I talked to people.
Yeah, who the fuck were those people?
There were
anyway?
people who were actually the original residents of that vault. There were people who lived in that vault, and that vault collapsed, and they were trapped down there.
Wait,
it was-
they living in there still? There are people in there.
It collapsed, and there were people living in there.
There were still people
It was
in there.
flooding. So you had the choice to either ignore it and allow the water to
Fill up.
and allow the water.
Those were actually real people.
Those were
Because I got
people in
really
there.
confused when that happened.
So like the NCR would still draw water from that for their farm, or you could kill all their crops in that area
So
to
it was
save
either
these people's
save
lives.
the people, have the farm to save more people, or kill
No,
a
no.
lot of people with no crops and save like a group.
Yes. But it's like
It's a hard choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save a few or save many.
It might have been the Powder Gangers, but I don't know.
you're probably thinking the powder gangers.
Yeah,
like-
the
might have
Reds and the
been
Blues. That was a good one too, because they
Okay.
got so fucking paranoid.
Real
like
quick,
the
I
one
want to
ball
talk.
was, like,
I want to
super
talk about the FEV virus. Well, the FEV.
Forced
Those
evolution.
guys were spaffy.
So originally, there was a virus that wasn't FEV.
Well, I mean,
that-
it still was the
Feel free
same
to say
thing.
anything then, Ben.
FEV is a failed experiment at creating super soldiers. That's what it was.
FEV was
No, it wasn't.
that was the vault with the musicians. They
Yeah,
all
what-
they killed everybody.
Yeah, it
in
was
there.
There was a virus that was being spread throughout. Basically, China used it as a super weapon, and so yeah, basically they were spreading it throughout America, and people were dying from this virus. And one of the vault's jobs was to try and figure out how to cure this virus. So they did a lot of testing, and they found
At
a
the
cure.
Institute.
They found a cure to basically do like a forced evolution. But what they didn't realize was that this thing could be a virus itself, and that's how. Like if you go into this vault, you'll see like FEV people that have a different, like more advanced type of virus, the FEV, and that's also isn't that sort of that's not how super mutants came about. They just
That is.
No, that is
It
how Super Mutants came about.
Plus,
At least-
it was
They
that
reacted
plus-
positively to FEV and
Okay.
became mutated like that. The other ones are the failed FEV ones, which are the giant just muscle masses that are fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
like you
Yes.
without the muscle.
Get fucking burned.
But yeah, the problem with that is that
Well, that's the burn
super
song.
mutants are infertile because they got mutated. So
And they're also really retarded.
yeah, well, some of them are actually. Some of them like the mutant.
Marcus.
Marcus is fucking cool.
And the guy in Fallout 4, the scientist dude.
Vigil,
Yeah.
but it's
Virgil.
because
Virgil.
Virgil.
Yeah, but they're infertile, so the only way they can create more super mutants and keep their super mutant community thriving
Is if they capture humans and take them to that vault.
and expose them to forced evolutionary virus. But Harold, one of my favorite characters ever
Oh, Harold.
in
That poor
Fallout,
guy.
was part. He
don't
was
think
in
I've ever met
Fallout
Fallout.
1.
I don't think I've ever met Harold.
He
Fallout
was-
1 and Fallout 3. I don't know
He
if
was
he was in Fallout 2.
he was just a guy that was with a group of mercenaries, I believe, and they are exploring the Mariposa military base, which means butterfly in Spanish. He was knocked into. Like, it didn't explain what attacked them, but
They-
he was
yeah, they
knocked
were-
into a vat of FEV. I
Well,
believe.
a bunch of super mutants attacked him. That's what happened.
Okay.
And they took. It was him and his friend, and then like a bunch of other people. All those people got turned into super mutants, or some of them like got failed. And him and his friend, they got separated. Both of them were exposed to the forced evolutionary virus. Harold doesn't know what happened. He got dumped off as soon as he left, and he became a ghoul, but like a really cool ghoul. Like he's super awesome and disgusting looking, but he's super cool. And he didn't know what happened to his friend, like one of his best friends from the vault.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is one of his best friends from the vault was, I think he was the antagonist for Fallout 1 or 2. Like he was the antagonist for Fallout 1.
Mhm.
He basically what happened with him was he was literally the perfect test subject that they discovered accidentally, and he reacted so positively to the forced evolutionary virus that he became like not only like big and burly, like through his mind he gained like telekinetic powers and all that shit from the forced evolutionary virus. And yeah, he is the main antagonist in Fallout 1. I can remember that specifically. Because you get captured by him and you have to fucking destroy him.
Yeah. Then Harold, the little sprout comes out of his head, and
How old was he? Was he like 300 years old?
he was an old man.
He wasn't 300 years, but
He was old.
He was from like 2100s, like before, like years before the events of Fallout 1,
Mhm.
which will tell you something.
And so like, he became a ghoul because of that. The tree grew out of his head, started growing. And then
Turned
Fallout
into
2,
a
it starts to get larger.
Yeah.
And in Fallout 3, he eventually just, once he makes his way to the capital wasteland, the tree completely overtakes him, and he is stuck there. He's immortal because of that. Like, not really immortal, but like he can't die really of natural causes for a long time at least.
Because
since
he's a
a
fucking tree.
Did
He's
they
literally
cut
a
him out?
tree with a face on it, and he's just tortured by his existence.
Like,
And a
he
bunch
just-
of people like are like praising him as a
These
god.
people think he's a god.
and he fucking
tree
hates
minders.
that so much.
And like the little girl is the only one who actually like takes his words literally. Everyone else thinks it's a metaphor for something. Like when he says he wants to be killed, they think like, oh, he just doesn't want to grow as much, and like that was a choice you had to either accelerate his growth so the rest of the wasteland starts to get trees and plant life, to keep his growth confined to the grove, was it?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, something like that.
I think it was the grove.
Either that, or you kill him because that's what he
Or
wants.
you actually kill him, like, and he says he hates fire, and you could be a jerk and you could actually light him on fire
and kill him,
like
and
that.
he dies horribly.
And everyone in there will attack you then, but it's not difficult
That's
to kill
a tough
them.
decision. Do you like grow trees in the wasteland
But
or
torture
kill one
just
person?
one soul.
Yeah, like
I would honestly go grow the trees.
I don't know. That guy has been alive for over 200 years.
Yeah, I
And-
know, but still, like
he has no will for to
He
live
has
anymore. Like,
not
he-
anyone.
Exactly, that's the point. Like you have like an opportunity to bring.
Exactly.
growth.
That's why it's such a difficult choice because like this person suffers at your
But
choice.
one person's suffering, and you bring trees to the wasteland.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
would,
true.
I would honestly do that.
Mm-hmm. But
Pretty sure I killed him.
if you cut his heart open, you get like you're
Is
exposed
this-
Oh
to
yeah,
his
you get a
mutation.
What
perk
is this
for
in?
that. Yeah,
This in 3?
3.
yeah.
Never encountered him.
Like
I've never heard of
99%
this.
Really?
sure that I just fucking killed him.
Flamer.
I didn't play
No,
3
I
as
didn't burn
much.
him. I'm not that.
No.
I started with New Vegas,
Okay.
but I
Yeah,
did
so
not.
did
I
I.
played
I played
3
Three on
maybe
the
4 or
Xbox.
5 times.
Mhm.
Mm.
That was it.
Played 3 on the
I played through
Xbox,
3 months.
4 on a little bit of New Vegas
Hey,
on
How you doing?
the Xbox as well, and then I finished it on PC. 4 was just bad.
Shot down.
All right. So, what do you got? What do you guys want to move on to? Like,
We
which
never
part, which
finished,
part
like,
fall?
favorite
This
I
is
wanna-
just itself a good podcast.
I want to recommend
right
Tale of Two Wastelands if you're still into Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas,
You got 20 minutes.
because what it does is it's a mod that combines both of them together, so you have one character throughout those
I
two
lied, we have
wastelands.
17 minutes.
The only catch is you start in New Vegas because it makes the most sense,
Mhm.
and then
Oh,
you
yeah.
move on to
Fallout 3.
All right.
to the capital wasteland.
Let's jump up to Fallout 4 now.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
we
Tell
can
Two
move on.
Waste. No. Somewhere in Fallout had like a reference of Boston 20, and they had the year. I think I forget what
Stuff
it was.
with Madison Lee and the guy from the Commonwealth that had the androids.
Okay, Zimmerman was I think he was actually a courser,
I never got that far into.
and he had a
Fallout 3.
bodyguard. And then there was Harkness, which was a security guard in Rivet City, and there was someone from the railroad in Rivet City as well, like saying like just let him go, don't tell him about it, don't help Zimmerman. There's a way to get the perk from Zimmerman and like not have Harkness become a slave again. I forget how, but anyway, Fallout 4. They bring back Madison Lee because she eventually leaves the Brotherhood because she's tired of the way they are, and she goes up to the Commonwealth. She eventually meets up with the Institute and works with them with their advanced systems. Which the Brotherhood actually needed her for Liberty Prime. Fallout 4 spoilers, guys, from here on, really.
It's been out for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's your fault, really, at this point.
I really just want to start talking about the mechanics of Fallout 4.
Yeah, okay.
Why it didn't work
Let's,
out.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
Here's my
Let's
issue
continue with the story, then we'll get to that.
Okay, well, just
we
like...
don't have a lot.
We,
No,
you know,
we
we,
got-
we,
dude,
we
we
can just
got
go
a lot
right
of
to
time.
everyone knows Fallout 4 story.
No,
Okay,
don't.
so
Wait 15 minutes.
But continue with what we don't know, yeah.
they went from skills and perks. You had to get, like, level up your special and your skills to get perks every time you leveled up, or every 2 times you leveled up. From Fallout 3 in New Vegas to Fallout 4 now, they completely got rid of the perks or skill system and only perks. Now we all thought that would like work out well. We thought that'd be cool.
Because they were all like, based on your special stat.
Yeah. Like, it kind of really limited the game, along with
It
the
did.
dialogue. The voice protagonist was great, it was cool, but it also just butchered the dialogue. Like, there was no, like,
bland.
it was
That was the
bland.
problem,
It
because
was
whenever
yes, no.
There was no actual
Yeah.
It was
RP
like,
element.
yes,
You're not
angry,
playing
yes,
your
sarcastic,
character,
yes,
you're
and
playing
no.
someone else's character
Yeah.
that they made, like, this is, like, their beliefs, and, like, this is how they react to it and stuff.
Yeah, excuse me real quick.
That's the problem.
I
It's
feel
like
like
a
they
worse
had-
version of what
you're
they
right,
did
Jack.
with Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Because
So-
Mass Effect can't.
Mass
So-
Effect is a great game, and I want to have the next time we do one of
Yeah.
these, I want to talk about the Mass Effect series.
I will be all over that one.
because
I
like
I will
actually-
be.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time. Let's
But
just
like
finish this.
with Fallout 4, my belief is like the way that didn't work is because it wasn't your story at
Yeah.
all.
No.
It was somebody
was-
else's character.
You
Like
could
you
not like Yeah, I like the fact that you can customize the character.
Real
Thought
quick,
it was gonna be
one
good.
second. Okay, in the Bethesda games, I've always, after I played it for a while, I got an alternate start mod. I got that in Fallout 4 as well. It sort of works, but like you still do the same story. Like there isn't like a lot of choice that you can use to RP with your character.
Yeah.
Like in like Skyrim, you can just hunt. You
That's
can,
why I
like,
like it.
like you said,
Because
you
you
start
have-
as a hunter, and all you did was hunt animals, sell their
I-
pelts for
I
supplies.
played a 10-hour game, a Skyrim marathon, where I was just a hunter, didn't do any of the story.
Mhm.
I just hunted, just tried to make as much money as I can, tried to build a house with that money.
That's
and
cool.
Fallout,
And you could do that.
yeah,
And
Fallout,
Fallout-
do that, and it was fun. In Fallout, it's like, oh, here's this guy.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
here's this guy that's like, and then like you just have a story set out, and like this is everything that happens. Like it doesn't make sense if you like were to like say I'm a caravan guard, and like it doesn't make sense like oh your son became the institute leader, but how? Like like I wasn't from before the war with this.
It took me like
Yeah.
2 months to beat Fallout 4 just because I didn't give a shit
I
about the
didn't
story.
beat Fallout 4 at all.
I mean,
I've seen
Like
69
for the
hours on this, I
longest
can't
time,
play
I
it.
had gone to like the last part where you're supposed to like fucking rate it, and I just didn't do it because I didn't care enough to
like
actually
the
was just,
issue
like,
with
go
Fallout
through with
4
doing
and
it.
and like the major factions is like they're so stereotypical. You have shut up, Ben.
Brotherhood's still coming back. They hate
You
Okay.
have
Still
like
cunts.
the fucking racist
Okay.
Brotherhood of Steel.
the
You have the
racist.
smart,
feels really
secluded
good in
people
this.
who are the evil.
No
in the
empathy
bunker.
whatsoever.
And then you have like the little like
rebellious
group of the
against-
underground people that are against both of them, and they're like pieces of shit.
I
And
didn't
then-
like anyone.
And then you
I
have
love
the
Fallout
what was the fourth one?
The Minutemen.
The
The
Minutemen.
Minutemen
I like
were
the
just
Minutemen.
like
I like the Minutemen.
I like the.
You
I
gotta
like
like the
Minutemen.
Minutemen.
they
Yeah.
were boring.
The
Yeah.
only thing
Yeah,
that
there
was
wasn't-
cool about the
Yeah, but
Minutemen,
I'll-
I think, was that they were a secret faction you could beat the game with.
And they
Yeah.
were yours.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
except
it
like
was
if you found the
just
men
boring.
out in the thing, they'd be like,
Yeah.
this is a Minutemen area only. Sorry,
I'd say you
civilian.
get
You're like, I
power
fucking
armor.
own you.
You get
Yeah.
power armor literally within 10 minutes of playing.
Yeah,
it.
they didn't do
Exactly.
power armor correctly.
I mean, no, the way you get in it, being
Yeah,
a big
that was
mech,
it. Made it. Yeah,
that was perfect.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's fucking everywhere is
Yeah.
not okay.
And it's like I understand the fact that you need to have the fuel cells, but like they're so easy to find.
Yeah.
I never ran out.
customization. There was
Well, yeah,
They
me
bet,
and
like,
Nick can go off of this.
when
for a
they
long
first
time.
introduced customization at E3
Awesome.
2 years ago or so,
Like,
or a year
that was
ago.
my
Happy.
favorite
like
thing.
well, there's hundreds of combinations, but then like
No, there's not.
like,
Yeah.
there
There's
actually like,
really
there
not.
actually is, but there's no reason
to do
to
the
make
other ones.
these
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
combinations.
Like,
Like,
Because there's like one combination that's just like it's
Yeah.
better.
Power-
than
The problem with
everything
it
else
is
they have.
you want to have a balanced system. You don't want to have a tier-based system. Because
Which
if you have a
is what
tier-based
happened.
system, you end up only using one combination. If you have a
Yeah.
balanced system, you can balance your gun out for fire rate, damage, whatever you
Yeah.
want.
'Cause-
But with the tiered system, you just like you use the best possible one you can use, and then you use that until you're able to get the skill to get the best one, and then
Yeah.
the next one, and then the next one, and then
there's
you
no
end up,
trade-offs. It's
and
just
then there's no trade-offs.
wait.
You end up with
Just
the
wait.
final tier of that gun, and there's just no variety.
That's why I think you need
You
the
either
mod that
do
lets
the
you
lack
put.
of variety.
Yeah.
That's
you
why I think-
either you either use you either use a powerful semi-automatic or a powerful automatic, and then that's
Automatic was,
either-
really weak.
It
Though.
was yeah. It
I
was,
never used automatic.
I always
There's
though.
no
use powerful
point in having
semi-automatic.
like an automatic laser gun because if you just had a semi-auto that was super powerful, you could just click it as many times as you want and kill everything.
Mhm.
There
They
was no
didn't do that.
reason to have an
They
automatic.
didn't do that well.
However, the automatic pistols were cool.
Yeah, but if you...
There's no reason to have a pistol because you could customize it all the way up to the laser rifle.
Because if you,
Yeah.
like, fucked around with it, like, oh, I'm gonna do something fun, that gun was actually ass. It was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pew, 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 and it's like,
Oh, did you
Th-
shoot me?
Never
No-
should have come here.
no damage.
That's why I feel like Fallout 4, you kind of need the mod. I don't even remember what it's called, but it lets you put anything on any weapon you
any
want.
attachment,
Fallout
any
4 in general,
attachment,
you
any
need
weapon.
the mod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to
They
do-
left so much. Okay, the thing I liked about Fallout because I love building and like sandbox. I love the settlement mode, but like
Same.
even
But I hate
still,
that
that was
stuff.
very
That was the
bland.
entire game.
They focused so much on that; it took away from like everything else
Yeah.
in the
What I
sense.
don't understand is they focused so much on that, but the actual tools that they gave you were so
Was-
primitive and just
limited
ugly.
and limited.
And like the
like
fact
you
that
can't like turn it to what
Okay,
you want.
the
They
thing
won't
I
snap
hated
together like you
most
want it to.
is you could not build workbenches unless you had a high charisma build.
That's
Yeah.
stupid.
That's what always got me because I wanted to always like make like if I wanted to build somewhere other than Sanctuary or Red Rocket, which is everywhere else but that, you didn't have any workbenches, any crafting stations, and that really limits you. Because then there's the other thing. Oh, just buy the weapon and like take the attack. No, there's no like there's no point in like going to vendors in that game either.
Yeah, you just sell all your shit.
I just
Or
hoarded
deconstruct
everything,
it.
so I had no use for caps.
Like one of my favorite places to build, and like I think it was called like Hangman's Alley or something.
Yeah.
Like the little alleyway. I love building in that place, but you can't because it doesn't go up high enough,
Mhm.
and it's just blocked off, and you just can't do
The-
anything in it.
These settlements were lacking in like interesting aspects. So like I really liked the marina, Eager Towards Marina. I liked that place because it was interesting. The rest of them were just like, oh, there's an abandoned house. There's like some like land to build around that. It just was boring in a sense.
Yeah, like for me, when I would walk around, I'd be like, oh shit, another settlement.
Yeah.
You had to use mods for that game to be interesting. Like I have over 200 mods on that game because I
You have a
cannot.
fucking spreadsheet. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I do. I actually do. Because I cannot play that game vanilla because
boring.
there's just not enough
And
content.
it's like what's the fucking
mod,
Starlight
mod support that was good,
Yeah.
but
It
the
just, I don't know.
but the game itself just lacked a lot of like core mechanics. Or
Let
it's
me-
like they changed
Fuck, can I
too
talk
much.
about the you have to kill things in it.
Yeah.
There's no
Or there are like characters that you absolutely can't kill, and that I hate that.
Like,
Like
yeah, like
there-
in Fallout 3, the most fun I had in that game was like my kill everythings or just you don't kill anything.
yeah, like,
runs.
did you guys ever find the place that's run by a bunch of the robots?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you mess up one, like, dialogue option, the entire place starts attacking you, and you can't see the rest of the dialogue.
Yeah.
It's retarded.
Which
Like,
is dumb.
you-
and
and
like,
it ends up you have to kill them. There's no way.
That's
you
what
can
the
get
game
through
is.
it.
The game is just a kill everything. It just kill everything.
It appears
then
to be
loot it.
open world, but it's
Okay.
linear.
Yeah.
The
The problem is you need to have to kill everything if you want to craft all that stuff.
the racetrack, the robot
Oh, the racetrack, that was the coolest
so
thing.
Cool.
And then like, hey, I'm gonna go look at this. Raiders, kill him! And then it's ruined.
And then,
because
then the
Raiders kill
robots,
you.
then the robots are sicked on you, and you just like an interesting place that was just scrapped for a kill everything.
Yeah.
There's Norwegian sailor, Norwegian cruise ship, that was crashed, and like, it's like, oh wow, that's cool. Like these people from no, there's ghoul raiders that like, oh, I don't want to attack you, but I'm gonna have to do it anyway. Just kill them all and like loot the area. It is all it is.
What was the
Um,
pirate ship that you had to like fix? The
Oh,
Captain
that
Hook
was
ship?
that
okay.
was
That
cool.
was
That
cool.
was
The
That was
best quest in the entire game.
Yes.
But
It's just
there
like,
needs
we're
to
gonna
be-
take off. Moves about half a mile.
There was not enough of that. We
Yeah.
need more variety with that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to
lots
just
of
go
it.
to a
Yeah,
place.
really-
Well, what do you know? There are raiders here. And, like, remember that guy that you helped out with draining out the place?
Yeah.
You go back and you're like, I wonder how this guy is doing. Raiders. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
well, that's
Yeah,
like sort of makes sense because he
it
was
does-
a raider
but that-
guy. Like he was a
but
raider leader.
just that adds a little bit more variety than just finding raiders.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Like,
It
you-
really
like-
annoyed me in that game because, like, you could, if there was a part where they gave you the option to talk to the people before you had to attack them, it was like they made you think that the dialogue options you chose
Mattered.
would make it so that it was like, oh, I won't have to fight these people. They're just going to be cool now, or they're going to leave. And then it was like at the very end, they're like, you know what? No, fuck it. Let's just have them kill everything. And it
And,
just
like,
that made me
the
so
charisma
mad.
skill.
But like
The charisma
speaking
skill.
of raiders,
There's no point.
the raiding in that game for like your settlements was it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I've talked to like you've had raids like, and you always get super mutant raids whenever like you're playing. I have gotten raided maybe
that's-
twice in like
I
the
don't think
70 hours I've
that
played.
was
I don't think I
only-
ever got raided in that.
Okay,
Like, in
the only
hundred
time-
plus hours I had in
like
the
I
game,
spent all
like-
this time to set up all these cool defenses, and they never get
Yeah,
used.
the only time I was raided was an obscure settlement that I never like. I set up. I'm like,
Didn't care.
here's a water pump. Here's some mute fruit plant. Also, mute fruit plants. There's
They're
no
OP.
reason to not make
Yeah,
those.
master.
There was
Fruit
no
OP.
Fruit
variation
master
in
is-
farming, and the only time I was raided was those obscure settlements. I never built up defenses because I never needed
And-
to. 'Cause I never.
They basically
Built
get like
them. What
water, you get beds, you get like 6 mud fruit,
And then
and
just
like one
leave.
turret.
What
and
were
then
the
leave.
Brahmins for?
Nothing.
Actually, they gave you fertile. Okay, there's a hidden mechanic that is really stupid. Actually, okay, I'll explain it. They gave you fertilizer and like they gave you some food.
Okay.
So what happened was, same with scavenging stations. They like say, oh, you get scrap periodically. You do if you don't have any scrap in your if a certain threshold isn't met in your workbench. And if you're like me, I go to my workbench, I dump all my scrap into there, so
Yeah.
the crafting benches are linked. Now, if you do that, that completely makes the scrap stations useless because it's already met that quota of amount of
Everywhere.
scrap. Yeah. Oh,
That's dumb.
in the settlement that it's in.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's no point. Like I didn't know that. So there's a mod called Unlimited or I forget what it's called. But there's a mod that
Unthreshold or-
yeah. There's a mod that gets rid of that. But like the fact that mechanic is in there, like, why would you link up crafting stations if you can't if it punish like, it doesn't even
like you're getting punished.
that doesn't tell you about
Picking
the
up
threshold.
shit,
Yeah.
putting it in there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about charisma and how that worked.
also
Because
wanna
in
chime in
Fallout
on that.
3 and Fallout 4, it was not done correctly. In New Vegas, it was done correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
your dialogue options were linked to your charisma skill, and in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, depending on how high your charisma skill or your charisma, like, part of your special was, you would have a chance to get a dialogue option correct.
Which you could just
like a
save.
70% correct.
Like,
but
everybody does it. Everybody has done
in New
this. You can't say
Vegas,
you
it
didn't.
was a skill, like you had to meet the certain quota to get this dialogue option or it wouldn't work. And it made sense. But in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, you had a chance. So basically, F5, F9. F5,
Yep.
F9.
Yep.
If I get it wrong, F9. If I get it wrong, F9. That's it. It's completely ruins the immersion of actually talking to someone.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that option, you gotta fucking kill them all.
Yeah, you
So
have to
it's-
kill them.
There's no
Like,
reason.
But like
Oh,
in New
sorry.
Vegas, I remember going to like Helios and the fact that you can't get in there without the science or without like high enough science. I was
Yeah.
like, that's really cool.
Or
I'm
else your
gonna go.
affiliation.
Gonna go and
I'm
level
gonna
up
go and
put
level
all
up my
points
science,
into science
and write that down. It's like once you get this science, go back here and do the
Yeah.
thing. And I went there and I did it. And in New Vegas, or not in Fallout 4, it's like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Pulls out pistol. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna have to put you down.
Can I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
The perks under charisma. There were
I didn't use any of them.
yeah,
boring.
there were
Except
there
for
were
local
like
leader.
there
That's
were,
the only one I use.
local leader was probably one of the only good
Because
things.
I would get.
I
crafting
never
benches.
used Lady Killer.
No.
I never
you didn't
used like
need
any
them.
of that stuff. You didn't need that, but there was like 3 perks in there just dedicated towards being able to convert enemies.
I,
Yeah.
like,
I
I
did
never
like
used that because like it's just.
It
like,
wasn't necessary at all because they just die. Like
kill them.
there's really no point to do that, especially like if you're trying to complete a quest and you need to kill them. You're just gonna end up killing them anyway. There's only one game I know that got enemy conversion right, and that was Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
beautiful.
That game
Yeah.
is so
Because
good.
in the
I don't
end,
even know
you
you
could
can-
have your
You should
own.
never
need
play
to play
that.
that
You
What?
could have your
You
own
need to play
army,
Mhm.
and it was fantastic. How
was
like
so good.
people you converted, it remembers how many people you converted, and then the people that you converted will show up in the wasteland eventually, and then you can go and find them and shit. It would be cool if like you could sort of. What would be really cool? What if you were like, listen, man, you don't have to do this. What if you had this type of like
Yeah, actually.
this type of perk where like
could talk them out,
listen,
you gotta
you
read
don't
them
have
out,
to do
but
this. You
you-
join me in the Minutemen, I promise. Like that, then you can get a settler. You have a new settler, or like maybe another Minuteman that can help defend your settlement.
You can get. Like, it's just
Yeah.
random.
They
you get
can't-
one.
Yeah.
Well, how do you get more Minutemen?
You don't like
You
they
don't.
kind
Exactly, that's
You
dumb.
have you,
They just-
you have
they-
Karsten
they
Gravy,
somehow
and
exist.
then nobody else.
Gravy boat.
Like there was
Yeah.
just
Yeah, and it
There's-
was
there
also
were-
like
Oh, and then the old bitch at the castle.
it was like at the beginning of the game, Preston was like, "Oh, I'm the last of the Minutemen," blah blah blah, and like 30 minutes later, just the wasteland is just filled with Minutemen that don't know anyone
Let's
else
be honest.
exists.
Have you guys ever actually used the flare grenades for the Brotherhood for the helicopter
Nope.
pickup,
Nope.
or the airstrike for the castle?
actually I used that once on a super mutant camp and it was badass. 'cause
Or-
it
No,
was
you know what I
exploding.
did?
No, but
Fucking,
you gotta
hey,
be
dog
fucking
meat,
near
go.
Yeah.
Or the flare
That's
gun
it.
for Minutemen.
Nope.
Nope,
No,
never used
I
it.
Because every time I
tried it.
tried to, they're like, no, you can't use that.
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Exactly.
That's I
There's
think
no
that's
point.
sort of a reason why they
Within a
try to
mile
put settlements
radius.
literally
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's why, because like settlements, like to use a artillery here and you have a settlement over here with artillery, you can't. You have to have like one here.
It's
with
like
artillery.
dumb.
But then you would have to do it everywhere to be able like it just it
It's
takes
impossible
so
to get full
long.
coverage.
It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
So I had a thing where like
Oh.
That
it
would
would
be-
just be
I
so
think
much
so,
better. Like
I think keep going.
if you
A little
took,
bit.
it would just
Well,
be
it's
so
almost
it would
midnight,
be
so-
so much better if you just took the whole map and went
Yeah.
and added just empty, so, not empty areas, but just like stuff to make you want to sort of explore.
One of the cool things
like
I like.
because every single thing in the area, like there was no surprise.
After
There was no surprise at all because you already knew it was gonna be there.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
wasn't like
You know
the
what I
random,
mean?
like
Because the maps were so
Yeah.
just small. But go ahead.
the part that what you're talking about is the place, the big wasteland where the nuke hit.
Mhm.
because that place.
The glowing
Oh,
sea.
yeah.
The
Glowing
glowing
sea.
sea is so
that place
cool.
was scary.
That place
like
was-
it was
yeah.
cool.
That was
Like,
the
Because you
only
go
place.
and there's a fucking like building underground that you gotta go down multiple levels and you don't know what you're
Yeah.
gonna find there.
That
It's
was
like,
the
it might
only
be
place
Exo
in
One
the
Power
game-
Armor. It might be fucking giant rad scorpions.
Yeah.
It's
that
like
place was
the
actually
fear of
a
going
fallout,
through the
like,
glowing sea for the first time. I was like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want
That
to
was
do
the
that.
It's the
only
glowing
place in the
sea.
game that I would walk into and I would legitimately be like, I actually don't.
I have
wanna
to pay
come.
attention
Yeah,
here.
but like it's a good. I don't want to come here because it's
Yeah.
so well done. It's like this is scary.
Like, there was
there's a
the-
red rocket right there. I don't know what's in there.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there was the I don't want to go there for like the witchcraft museum, and then it ended up it was just like, oh wait, it's a death claw.
I
That's
honestly
scary.
I
And it's
think
like glowing.
The beginning part of the witchcraft museum.
beginning
done
was-
beautifully.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was
And then you
actually
walk in
sleeping
there and it's
myself.
just
it
like
was
It's just a
scary.
big ass death claw. It's
But
like
yeah.
Yeah.
Aw,
Okay.
And it's like you
Alright,
go in
yeah,
the
I've
glowing
seen them
sea and you
before.
like you see something move like off in the distance
like-
and you're just like
I know. You're
it's
like,
either or it's
like
fucking
you know it's a rad scorpion or something, but it still fucking
yeah
scares
it's just
you.
fucking it's
What-
terrifying.
Because it's so
Yeah.
like
What
there's just
they-
nothingness. And it's like then all of a sudden there's a fucking building. Like it's
So to
It was
sum
done
up
so well.
the podcast so far, we did vaults, favorite vaults. We talked about all the vaults in Vegas.
Mhm.
The history of Fallout 1, 2, 3, Vegas, Wasteland,
Basically Fallout's
and
history.
4.
all four.
Basically.
And then
Yeah.
why Fallout 4 was bad.
Okay, so I want to chime in on a
There
couple
were things
more.
done well,
what
and then
could
there
we-
was a lot that should
If-
have been better.
Okay, here, just
Yeah.
to close.
Bad game.
To close, because
I
I
got-
wouldn't
we
say
don't-
bad game.
We have about
I would
5
say
minutes.
not well
Guys,
done.
Okay.
game.
Long.
So we have about 5 minutes left. What I
Yeah.
want to talk about is a scenario. We are the new executives at Bethesda, and we can go back in time and we can make Fallout 4 good. What would each of us change? You have one thing you could change. Let's start with
Balancing
Jameson.
customization
So-
for your weapons.
So, but how would you do that? I want you to go into detail.
I give like the trade-offs, and the problem was there was no weapon variety because like pipe weapons, you could literally start with a base, and then you would just like jack it out, and like there was no use for pistols.
Really well done.
Like there was nothing. The only time you would ever use pistols is if you found like an actual dedicated pistol that had to
Or
be
like a
a pistol.
rare.
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
back and
and
save memories.
like laser pistol, always make it a rifle. 10 mil. A 10 mil was cool. I liked how they did the 10 mils.
I like
Pipe
the 44.
pistol.
The 44 was cool.
Pipe pistol, made it a pipe rifle, but then again, pipe
rifles suck
weaponry
ass.
became useless literally like a quarter of the way through the game.
Instantly, actually, because you
Instantly.
can just kill Raider and get it.
I
double.
honestly,
Hunting
I
rifle.
would leave like small customization, but leave the weapons separate because there were so many cool weapons in New Vegas. Because I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I found everything. I've done everything I could. I went to the
Unique
Gunner's
weapon
Arsenal building,
collecting.
and then went to like the fucking robots selling guns out there, and I checked them, and I was like, there's like 10 weapons that I don't even know that they were in the game
I check
here.
there every single time.
Yeah,
we
there
got
are
this
a couple of
Before
really
I forget
cool
mine,
little
can I say
weapons.
what I would change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it has to be a voice protagonist with his own story, make it about Kellogg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wasted Kellogg. Like,
Oh,
they brought
he
him.
was so
They brought him.
amazing.
They
The
brought him
sequence
up.
when you go through his memories.
Oh.
So cool.
And then they bring it up with Nick Valentine, like him still fragmented in his
Yeah.
mind. Like, oh, like,
should've killed
he's
I
gonna
should've killed
he's
you
gonna
when I had
come
the
back to the
chance.
story, or
There's
he's
like,
gonna be in the
Kellogg
Excuse me,
DLC.
what?
was the
And
most
that's
interesting
it.
person in
Yeah,
that game.
I
Yeah.
compare him to Dowd in Dishonored, where he's just a really well written character that you hate to hate him because like
You know
want
why
to
he's a
like him,
douche.
but he's a, like
Yeah.
but he's done bad things, but he's
You
such a
understand
good
why he's done the
character.
things.
Yeah.
Like he's just such a well written character.
What about you, Justice?
What would I change in Fallout 4? I would just make your choices. I would have made the choices seem like they actually had some type of effect in the game.
Yeah.
Bring
'Cause
back
no matter
the skill
what
system.
Yeah, no matter what you do in that game, it goes down and you have two choices at the end.
You have one ending.
And that's
yeah,
it.
this is one
You
ending.
ha- and they both
no
lead to
matter
the
So
same
what the
either
thing.
kill
fuck
the
you do,
Institute
one
or
ending.
don't kill the Institute.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
it.
Yeah, no matter
Yeah.
what you do
Exactly.
in the entire game, it all just ends up being, yeah, it does. We don't really care what you did. You have this, and that's how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like that. I wish they should have changed that.
What I would change. Okay, so you said customization. You said
Make your
pretty much,
choices
like,
matter.
Like how in
matter.
Fallout-
You know, that's-
Yeah, like
Kellogg
how in Fallout
actually
3
being
it
used.
actually-
Utilizing
Yeah.
good characters, making good characters.
The
There
what
was
I, what I
one in
liked from New
time.
Vegas was the faction system.
That.
How
Yeah.
Mm.
like it kind of ties in with what you said. How your choices matter and they impact
It
your
always showed how they
relationship,
thought about
with-
you and
Yeah.
shit like that.
like everything.
You actually have
Kinda like-
affinity.
Kind of
Yeah.
like yeah, like affinity. Like that's kind of what I would change. Like because the quests for the
Show
followers
affinity.
actually felt
Don't
like they
make affinity
mattered.
invisible
Like what
thing.
you said mattered in New Vegas. In Fallout 4, it's like what you say to like somebody, it doesn't matter. Like what you said.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like in New
Affinity.
Vegas, I was actually scared of what my dialogue choice was because
Yeah.
like
You didn't wanna
after
make
I
them
had
hate
beat
you.
like I had beat it once, and then I went back through it and I was like,
I don't want to stray from my
I'm
path.
scared of doing this because what if it makes
everything
this
up.
person not like me and then that just
I
fucks
actually
up
want
the
that
rest
person
of
to
the
like
game.
me because I feel
Go
like
ahead.
I'm
So what
Yeah.
do you think?
Okay, anyways,
So my issue was companions. So in every game, like in like
dog meat was the only companion.
exactly.
Yeah, how they hated what you did. Yeah, that was annoying.
Okay, so like, there's like two specific things that I want to go over with companions. One, what you're talking about is making your choices matter. The only reason that the choices were in the game were to make the companion that you wanted like you. But the fact that like,
Curie.
if you wanted like whoever to like you, you would have to completely change your own morals
Yeah.
in order to do
Yeah.
something. So like, if you wanted what's her name, the Irish bitch, to like you, you would have to do something horrible.
That's why I like Piper, because she actually fit how I was playing the game at
Yeah.
that time. So I just chose Piper.
I hated Piper. The only one that I liked was the French bitch because
Curie.
Yeah,
Curie.
Curie.
Because the
I mean,
accent.
that was kind of cool though because he put her into a synth. That's kind of cool.
Nick Valentine was my favorite.
He was an
Nick was
awesome
cool.
character.
He was a great
And
character.
the other thing
Yeah.
is like, they were just pretty boring in general.
That's
the,
true.
The companions like
Yeah.
they had like the top three was Curie, Nick Valentine, and Dogmeat, and that was pretty much it. What
Dogmeat
they
was
needed
the best character.
what they needed to do was make Dogmeat a constant, and not have him play
They-
that big of a role.
They were going to do that. That's why he doesn't count as a companion if you're the lone wanderer.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to always
Yeah, that's
be
what
with
made
you.
him so good.
Yeah,
'Cause the
but
lone-
like not, but like the perks for him to like grab people or make them bleed.
I never used that.
They
ever.
never use that, but that like if you think about that, that could have been utilized so well. Like if you play on like a really difficult, like a really hard difficulty.
Yeah.
But like you needed to have Dogmeat with you at as a constant, just not for like inventory space, just to be like, he's cool. Like that's the only reason that you should want him there is because he's cool, and then have an actual companion that made your choices matter.
Yeah.
Like say you wanted to, I don't know, go investigate something. Like you were gonna go into the city, you would bring Nick with you, obviously.
Mhm.
Or if you were gonna go out like with a group of raiders, you would obviously bring Kate. And, like if you were gonna do like go to like Robot Place, you would bring Codsworth or whatever.
Or
But,
curious, like, a
But like
scientist.
actually have which companion you have with you at the time matter.
That
Because
only
really, it
mattered
was just
with
bring whoever you love.
Far Harbor. With Nick Valentine, he adds a lot to Far Harbor. Like,
That's what I'm talking
that's
about.
the only thing that actually like makes a difference with your companions with you. Whether or not like
Yeah.
besides like whether or not you ask for more money or you're sarcastic with somebody. That's the only
Or like,
difference.
hey,
with-
go hack that terminal that I could easily hack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus it's like
And then it doesn't work.
whenever I was working on Piper's romance just for the achievement, half the time I'll just be like, go there, don't move.
Yep.
And that was it, because they would just get in the way half the time.
Okay, so my big thing is just give us more freedom. Like,
Yeah.
for one, this is besides like what like my main point is, but for one thing, invisible walls.
Yeah.
Like really, you know how to deal with. You've done it perfectly in 3 in New Vegas.
And Elder Scrolls. Ever seen
And
Invisible
Elder
Wall?
Scrolls, yeah, I have never seen an invisible
It's the
wall
edge of the
unless
world.
I glitched up a
Only
mountain.
the edge.
Literally the edge of the world.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing
But
is
then
they
I
do,
go-
'cause it's like a gate. It's like don't go.
And
through
then
it.
I'm starting to walk, and all of a sudden I can't walk anymore, and I see so much more ahead of me, and I'm like, why can't I go there?
It doesn't feel like a Bethesda
Yeah,
game.
it does not
Yeah.
feel like a Bethesda game. It feels like they had it planned out to be so much bigger, and they were like, okay.
Like they do that so
And
like,
then-
it looks like there's more, but there really isn't anything there. They just like have it so
That's
like the
pretty
edge
much
of the
Fallout
like,
4 in,
yeah.
in,
like
in
that, that's the
general.
reason why they
Okay,
make
so-
the edge like the edge of the world like and there's detail behind it. So like you see, like it
That's a
looks
perfect analogy for
yeah,
Fallout 4.
it looks like there's more, but there isn't. It's just
Yeah.
actually just
It's just a
paper
It's a
Yeah.
bag.
facade.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, but my main point is, I'm going to give an example of when I was working with the Institute on my first run, because I think it was like a high % chance that a lot of people did go with the Institute their first
Institute
time
was cool as
because
shit.
because it was cool and their son was there.
Yeah.
Like when they realized their son there was like they were like, holy shit! I
That
just
changed everything.
like
and,
that changed everything. That made you. So I was working with my son, and for a while everything was like fine and dandy.
Why did you have to kill him?
You have no
And
idea how many times.
I was kind of iffy with bringing the synths back, but I tried to just agree with them that they didn't really have too much of a will. They were just created. I tried to make myself believe that, and then it got to the point where my son pulled me aside and he was like, "All right, you're gonna have to kill the Brotherhood and the Railroad." And
Why?
I'm like,
why did we have to?
well, oh, just listen. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that, and he goes, well, you have to do that. And I'm like,
Because of plot.
but I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. And he's like, but if you want to work with us, you have to do that. And I was just kind of like, okay, is there anything I can do to make it so that I don't have to do that, but I can still work with my son in the institute?
No.
And it was just a straight up no. There was nothing I could do.
It
I've
had to
already
be
spent.
100%
This was
one
the
group.
point where I already went through so much institute stuff that it would not be worth it to just back out and go and join another
It
faction.
makes sense though, because like the Brotherhood
It
would never
makes
agree with the
sense,
synths. The
but
Railroad would never agree with the way
With
that
the
they do
previous
synths.
Fallout games, I would have more options.
Yeah.
Where I would be
Yeah.
given
They
the
would
option.
find a way to make
like
it work
having,
in the old
like,
Fallout games.
like, you're gonna put a big spoiler thing up on this, right?
Yeah.
Like having to kill Deacon was horrible.
That was
Yeah.
Deacon
actually
was actually we never mentioned was the most besides Nick thought out
Hi.
character. Because like Deacon, I just wanted to be around him. He was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I
He was
loved
cool.
Deacon.
Deacon was awesome.
And then I forgot, if you didn't go with the railroad, you gotta go down and fucking blow his head off.
Mhm.
It's the first
Yeah.
time in a game, in
I
a
didn't
Bethesda game where you had to kill
I
companions.
broke Pam's legs off and shot her with a cannon.
You what?
The robot Pam.
Yeah, didn't
I
care
cut her.
about
I chopped her legs off or whatever. However you
Would
cripple
you shoot her
Celtron.
with
And
the
yeah, I've got the can like
broadsider?
yeah. It was so
Fucking
satisfying.
amazing.
I hated
Honestly,
Pam.
I got a mod that enhanced that, so it actually did.
All right.
My
And
favorite.
This has been going on for a
Anything-
while. We should
Yeah,
probably.
Anything else?
I think it was great though.
It's
I think it
very
was
good.
pretty good.
Very good one.
All right.
I didn't say anything until like the last 30 minutes.
That's
Thanks for
okay.
watching, guys. We're gonna go find Jameson. Make sure he didn't die. We'll see you.
Thanks.
Fuck. How did this happen? Shit!
Dude, where's the milk?
See this sword?